Well, as the old saying goes, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It was 5 o'clock here. We had a little bit of a delay waiting for the umpires to show up. We have one here, so we're ready to go. Cushionett, Massachusetts, Cranberry Baseball League action again here, presented by WMUA Sports. Cam Sibert, alongside with me today, Joey Aliberti. Joey, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, Cam. Just a good cloudy Sunday and a little humid outside, but other than that, it's all is well.
Yeah, some clouds rolling in here, but it looks like we got a good game in store. The Plymouth Brewers are on the road here to take on the Bourne Mariners at their home field here at Pope Park. Ace in the hole on the mound for the Mariners, Logan Malin. You were looking at the stats beforehand. 9 innings pitched, hasn't allowed a run quite yet. We saw him a couple weeks ago, had that velocity up in the 90s. So I think we're going to have a nice little pitching battle here in store, especially for the Mariners side.
Yeah, Logan Malin seems very impressive. Along with that, he has 15 strikeouts in those 9 innings. So he's definitely someone to watch out for. And against, I think it's the second worst scoring team, if not the worst scoring team in the Cranberry League. It should be a low-scoring game for the Plymouth Brewers.
Yeah, it hasn't allowed a run in 9 innings pitched. Only has allowed 1 hit. So Malin absolutely having some success here in the Cranberry Baseball League thus far. You look at the league standings, both of these teams on a little bit of a slide right now. The Mariners, having lost 3 of their last 4, ended up tying one of those games as well. And the Brewers as well on a little bit of a losing streak here. They fall to 3-11. The Mariners sitting at 6-7 there in the bottom pack. So both of these teams looking to get back on the board with some wins. Doubleheader here today. This game at 5, the next game at 7. A little bit of a delay, like we said, waiting for some umpires to show up. We only have 1 on tap, so it's almost like a Little League game where you got the umpire taking off the mask and running down to first base to make some close calls. We'll see how he fares with it, and hopefully he'll get some help here before long. But we're just about ready to go, and we can kind of go down the lineups here, and we'll take a look at the defensive lineup for the Mariners. Out in right field is Dan Cook. Center field, Mitch Lundholm. Left field, Alex Sorrenti. Over at third base, Braden Killens. Shortstop, Tyler Rondeau. Second base, Adam Horowitz. Over at first, Tyler Ferdinand. Behind home plate, Zach DiMatteo. And like we said, pitching today to start this one, Logan Malin. So J.R. Disarcina, we'll see how we go about pronouncing that one as it goes on. He'll step in to be the leadoff hitter here for the Brewers. And at 5:17, we're ready to go. First pitch from Malin off the outer half, in for a strike.
So far, Disarcina, or however I should say it, is the leading hitter for the Brewers in the sense of average, with a 400 average, 8 for 20 in his batting so far through, I think it's 14 games.
Quick start for Malin there. Another strike in on the outside part of the plate. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Just misses for ball 1. Talked about it last time. The delivery from Malin, too, kind of comes across the body. Creates a tail on the ball. Makes it hard for the hitter to see. 1-2 pitch. Tried to blow it by him with a fastball. Just missed. 2-2. Joey, this is your first time at Pope Park. Pretty nice venue here, and a little bit of a better setup than last time. We got the press box in action. Press box.
Much needed upgrade.
2-2 pitch. This one's chop foul. Yeah, and we heard it too from the shortstop, Tyler Rondeau, as he walked by. We missed a couple games. He said, "Where you guys been? We were doing better when you guys were broadcasting the game." So hopefully, if you're a Mariners fan, you might get some luck out of the WMUA guys. 2-2 pitch again here from Malin. This one right down the middle, and it's swung and hit to second base. Fielded cleanly and in time from Adam Horowitz to record the first out of the inning.
Very routine play right there, and only striking out twice so far in his 20 at-bats to Sarcina, so I'm not surprised to see him make contact early. He's not one to, what's it called? I should say he is one to make his pitches count, his hits count.
Absolutely, and the first pitch there to Colin Nicholas in for a strike. Watch that one cruise by, and here's the 0-1 pitch from the windup. Gasses him up for strike 2. We appreciate those that are tuning in. I mean, This is definitely something of a makeshift production here. We're just college students working on a budget, so we hope that there's no connection issues.
Yeah, that's all we can hope for at this point, Cam.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is just the start, though.
Either way, good practice for us.
Of
We're
course.
still learning. Joey a little younger than I. Here's a ball just missing on the outer part of the plate. What's the count? 1-1? Got a little distracted there.
1-2.
1-2 pitch, a breaking ball. Catches Nicholas looking, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Malin records his first strikeout. Brings the left-handed hitter, Cam Caraher, to the plate. He'll be over at second base when we switch sides. Malin trying to make it 1-2-3. Here's his first pitch to Caraher, popped up. Looks like it'll be just out of play. And keep your head on a swivel back there. So now 0-1, 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Malin again from the windup. Swing and a miss there for strike 2.
Only Cam Caraher's fourth at bat all year, so he doesn't have much of a sample size to analyze anything off of.
Pitch misses upstairs. Yeah, maybe he's still trying to get his footing. Not necessarily easy against the high velocity here that Malin's putting out. This one's inside. Might have hit the batter, but it did.
Looks like it
And
nicked him in the left ankle.
that couldn't have felt good.
No.
See him lumbering down to first base. Seems like Caraher's all right. That shed from Malin will definitely, you'll feel it in the morning, I should say.
Yes. You'll feel that for a few days, probably.
Big old bruise. So still 0-0, of course. Top of the first inning, 2 down. Malin hits the third hitter there and sends him down to first base, and it brings up Andrew Dorito. I suppose is how you say that. Nice nacho cheese Dorito, if that suits you. First pitch in there for a strike. What do you think, nacho cheese or Cool Ranch Doritos?
Nacho cheese, for
Nacho
sure.
cheese, okay.
I can't judge someone for liking a Cool Ranch Dorito, but nacho cheese. is the way
Sweet
to go.
spicy chili is kind of snuck up into one of my favorites, too.
Yeah, that does seem to be an underdog lately. But I don't know. Nacho cheese is, I think it's king. It's above all else.
Ball high to Dorito. I mean, it's either Dorito or it's tough. Another ball missing upstairs. Malin letting it slip a little bit there.
Similar to J.R. Desarcina, Dorito only has 1 strikeout in 18 at-bats, so he's another player in the top of this lineup that finds a way to make sure that he is not struck out.
Yeah, and ball 4, he's going to take his base with a little bit of confusion there as to whether or not it was ball 4. It was, in fact, ball 4. So runners now on first and second base. It'll bring up Nick Siegelman. What do you got on Siegelman? Anything over there? I thought you might have been looking. No worries. Siegelman going to be out in left field. We switched sides, but now runners on first and second base, 2 down. Malin starting to make this inning a little harder than it had to be.
Yes.
Ball in the dirt.
6 at-bats as to date for Nick Siegelman. 3 hits, so he's hitting the ball 50% of the time, which is very high. 2 RBIs in those 6 at-bats, too.
Capable of putting one in play. Starting to get up in the count now, 2-0. Couple pitches now. Malin's missed high a little bit. Maybe he just needs to follow through.
Yeah, he seems like a very high velocity pitcher, but they might not always be in the exact spots that he'd like them to be in.
Another ball misses there for 3-0. So you'd have to think Siegelman will be taking this one. Chance to load him up. Two down. The 3-0 pitch from the stretch here on the way from Malin. As he looks in towards home plate. Another one misses low in the dirt there, so that'll load him up. And yeah, almost right on cue, you get a little mound visit from Adam Horowitz at second base. He goes over to put some confidence in the ear of his pitcher.
Yeah, this is a giant start for a struggling offense in the Plymouth Brewers to start off in the top of the first with bases loaded, only two outs, but a very good scoring opportunity here.
Yeah, so certainly Brett Cabral stepping in at a big time now in the first inning. He's got the bases loaded. He takes that first pitch for a strike. But a ball hit in play is a chance to open things up a little bit here early on. See how Malin deals with it after getting 2 quick outs. Now the base is loaded. Cabral standing in. Chops this one towards second base. Having to back up to make the play is Horowitz, and he decides to go to second for the force out. That'll finish up this half inning. No damage done against the Mariners there, and an interesting play for Horowitz back there. Had to backpedal a little bit to make the play.
A little bit of an awkward ground ball, but he fielded it as clean as he could and handed it right off to Rondo at second, and pretty routine play from there.
Yeah, he noticed he had plenty of time, so he chose to go to second base, and so now we switch sides here, and on the mound for the Brewers, Ryan Oben. Take a look at his statistics so far on the year. He's pitched in 4 games. He's thrown for 12 innings, allowed 9 hits and 2 runs.
9 hits and 2 runs is interesting. Usually runs will mean hits, or hits will mean runs, I should say. But I guess when Ryan Oben is at the mound, that is not the case.
Yeah, he's got 8 strikeouts to his credit. Left-hander. We'll see how he goes about it. And yeah, of course, we got some live sports here in the Cranberry Baseball League that actually kicked up before most professional leagues, but those are now in action. We were talking about it. The Celtics putting the beat down on the Portland Trailblazers right now. Jason Tatum turned around his poor performance from last night.
Yeah.
He had at least 20 points when we checked it right before the start of this game.
26, actually.
26.
7 minutes left in the third quarter.
Still 7 minutes left in the third.
So a little bit of a redemption game after that lackluster performance against the Bucks on Friday night.
Yeah, he was just short with everything, leaving everything short on the rim. I guess he got a haircut before this game. Maybe that had something to do with it. He just, something with the aerodynamics, they were off or something. But nice to see him bounce back. A couple Celtics fans here in New England. But, I mean, how about the product that's been in that NBA bubble? Besides this game, of course, is a little out of hand. But those first 2 games, the Lakers and the Clippers and the Jazz and the Pelicans, they both went down to the wire. It almost feels like with no fans in the stadium, there's no room for the home team, per se, to take off and get a big lead because you're kind of playing back and forth almost like it's, you know what I mean? Like pickup ball.
You are.
One team scores, you have to score, and they just go back and forth. It makes for a competitive atmosphere. It's fun to watch.
Home court advantage is definitely something that I think the NBA is trying to work on to make it more advantageous. Even, obviously, it's very tough in such a neutral site like the bubble is, but they're trying to do what they can.
Right. Yeah, they play like the defense chant when you're on defense and certain things. They do try to make it a home atmosphere, but it's only so easy with no actual fans. We have an umpire, second umpire running down towards first base, just 28 minutes late, but I guess we'll give him the pass. Cook, the leadoff man, is in now for the Mariners to start this bottom half of the first inning. Pitch in there for a strike on the outside part of the plate.
Dan Cook coming off a player of the week performance after.
Right.
I think his batting average isn't anything stellar if I'm
It's
not
that
mistaken.
on
It's just-
base
yes.
percentage though, Joe.
Leads the league, tied for the league in walks so far.
Breaking ball there from Oben, misses outside, sorry.
I was just gonna say he's been doing very well at finding ways to get on base without even having to make contact with the baseball, which is an ideal situation for your leadoff hitter.
Absolutely. See what he can make happen here as he gets rung up on a pitch that really missed the plate by a solid couple of inches. Got some back and forth between Cook and the umpire there, and the leadoff hitter already giving back some lip. Charette gives him some backup, and I mean, I think there was some cause for concern. That pitch might have missed a little outside, but this early into the game, probably not a good time to be getting on the wrong side of the umpires. But
very interesting little interaction there, but I think Dan Cook was trying to use his
plead his case, yeah.
His seniority, though. Being a college graduate from Western Oklahoma, he did say to the ump, "I'm too old for this." And
Right.
I feel like that seniority is something that makes him want to have calls go his way with the umpire, but the umpire doesn't roll like that.
Here's one chopped down the third base line out of play. Tyler Ferdinand in now. We've seen some chippiness on this field, Joe, I'll tell you, throughout the course of this summer. And a Cushing Aztecs player a few weeks back was ejected.
Yeah, you honestly love to see a little energy out of the players. It shows how much they really care.
Yeah, the competitive nature. And now that one on maybe a better spot misses for a ball.
Yeah, that was a very clean breaking ball, and I guess the umpire saw it still just inside.
So the left-handed hitter Ferdinand in with one out. Here's a chop swing that gets through the shortstop over there. Hard hit line drive to Ronan Chisholm. And I think you mark it down as an error.
Yep, hit the glove of Ronan Chisholm, so I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be an error. Every time Mitch Lundholm comes up to bat, I almost get scared that he will get hit by a pitch, because I think right now he's second in all of Cranberry baseball and hit by pitch.
He's been something like a magnet for the ball. Saw in one of the first couple of games he took one off the head, showed up to the next game with a black eye, but we hope that the announcer's curse doesn't exist. Here's a pitch on the outside part that's called for a strike again there. That one might have crossed the part of the plate. Ferdinand down there at first base with one down. Big hitting lefty, Mitch Lundholm in. Lefty versus lefty from the stretch. Here's one hit towards first base and a Bill Buckner style play. It goes through the legs of the first baseman. That's going to send Ferdinand down to third and set up for runners on the corners. Bill Buckner is shaking in his seat right now.
Yes.
If he were here to be watching that. Not the only one saying it here.
No. Bill Buckner is far too famous in this Boston area.
So now with runners on the corners, one down, in comes the cleanup hitter Zach DiMatteo. Saw him hit a walk-off home run a few weeks back against the Rockland Cardinals. He takes his first pitch for a strike.
Yeah, and sadly we weren't able to broadcast that as the laptop died with our unfortunate situation in quarters for broadcasting. But there's nothing we can do to control that.
Still got to be there in attendance for it. Saw the energy. It was awesome to watch. Takes a pitch there for a ball. Even things up at one apiece. Speaking of a piece, could use a piece of hitting here. Get the Mariners on the board early. Looked like Lundholm might take off for second. Here's one hit to the shortstop. Fielded cleanly and throwing on the run to get the out at first base. Now Lundholm's caught in a rundown. He's going to get tagged out at third base trying to get an extra base. And unfortunate there, but it looks like a run will score.
Lundholm is definitely more on the aggressive side when it comes to base running. I think he's in the top 5 or top 6 as it is right now in the Cranberry League for bases stolen. And so, I mean, that's just something that is in his DNA, I guess, just to try to get that extra base. He has that confidence in himself, but it's obviously going to come back at you in times like that.
Yeah, he's stolen a few bases this year. The long legs. He's a tall guy. Definitely has some speed. Just kind of got caught in a bad place there. Still a run will score on the fielder's choice there. Ferdinand came across to make it a 1-0 game. A little bit of run support for Malin. And we'll see how he comes back after a little bit of a shaky first inning. Started off with 2 quick outs and then started to have it slip a little bit. Allowed the bases to get loaded and then they were able to get out of it, no damage done.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how Malin comes back in this second inning. Obviously, as we said before the game even started, how impressive he's been throughout his 9 innings of pitching so far. But this one inning, he got out of it with no runs allowed, but there was a little scare with those bases loaded.
Yeah, so we'll lead things off with Ryan Blue. See what we can't find out about him. Here he is, 10 at-bats so far this year. He's got 2 hits, a double bagger. Struck out 5 times thus far. Yeah, an overcast night almost cools things off a little bit. Definitely can't complain.
Blue also in the catching position also has a 200 batting average in his at bats.
So 1-0 here after 1 inning. We get ready for the top of the second. Like I say, it was a little delay waiting for some umpires to show up. This game was originally supposed to start at 5. Probably got started about 15 to 18 minutes after its original start time.
Yeah, there's no sight of an umpire for quite some time.
We thought Joey might have to get out there and make calls behind home plate.
Yeah, I almost had to put on the helmet and the pads.
And get out there.
Get out there and call some baseball.
We're ready to go here for top 2. Blue swinging at the first pitch. Look out if you're in that adjacent field. Don't think anybody is. Quickly with a strike against him. Malin dealing again now from the windup. Misses upstairs for a ball.
Malin seems to have a Barry Zito type of pitching windup, if you know what I mean there. It's very quick and just kind of...
You know, I know the name, Joe. It doesn't necessarily come right to mind his windup.
His windup, I always just remembered it being a very, very fast and just like zippy type of motion. And just very quick. And I feel like Mayland has a same type of windup whenever he pitches.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. A fastball got him. So now 2 strikeouts for Mayland as he gets Blue down swinging.
Yeah, good start for Mayland to see another strikeout on the board, but still 2 outs to play in this inning.
Brings in Connor Pratt, who just got a taste of that fastball. Strike 1. A 1 pitch tailing towards the hitter, but just misses. 1-1. Slight breeze coming in from center field. Here's another pitch, just tipped foul. So 1-2 quickly.
In Connor Pratt's 10 at-bats, he does have 7 strikeouts. So, and obviously with Malin at the mound, he's always one to be a threat to have a quick strikeout. So this could definitely go that way. That's what seems most likely here.
Yeah, just choke up, shorten things up. 1-2 pitch misses outside, so he's still fighting. Make it 2-2. Pratt trying to lead things off after the first guy struck out. That pitch almost hit him if he didn't duck. So it'll fill things out at 3-2.
Yeah, a couple wild pitches from Malin early on here. Hitting Cam Carraher in the first, in the lower left ankle, and then almost hitting Connor Pratt in the head right there.
So payoff pitch from the windup here. This one's tipped foul. Pratt will live to see another day. Just got to shorten up the swing a little bit, choke up, inch back in the box. Try to see it early. 3-2 pitch. That one's chopped up towards second base. Horowitz under it cleanly to record the second out of the inning.
Cam, I'm starting to think that your career might not be in the broadcasting booth. It might be on the baseball field. You know, with all these tips and tricks you have up your sleeve.
Yeah, right.
The diamond. Man. Your knowledge of the diamond, Cam.
Choking up and shorten the swing. I think that's rule number 1 when you're facing a fast pitcher, right? So Pratt goes down on the pop fly to second. It brings in Ronan Chisholm. Took the first pitch for a strike. Now a dribbler towards third. Charging to make the play in time is, I believe, Noah Holland. Let me double check. There's actually Braden Killens over there. Nice play at third to record the third out of the inning, and we will go to the bottom of the second now. Still 1-0, Mariners on top.
I think this is the prime opportunity right now for the Mariners to just let this lead grow a little bit, and if they can let a lead grow early on to the lowest scoring team in Cranberry League, then I think that's a very pointing sign in favor of them to win this baseball game.
Absolutely, Joe. And yeah, the NBA got back underway. MLB has been going on. The Bruins playing today, right?
Is that so? I can't say I'm
not too hip with the NHL. I'm
Not
with
at
you
the
there. I
moment.
mean, I follow it to a certain extent. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard NHL guy. I definitely prefer the NBA or the MLB.
Yeah, Colin Casey would have to be here to inform us.
Oh, I'm sure he would. Red Sox have kind of muscled out some wins. I mean, I don't know. I think the question on everybody's mind has been the rotation.
Yeah,
I think that the lineup can score runs. It's just a matter of who you got out there pitching the ball.
losing Eduardo Rodriguez for the year is
Big hurt.
definitely not ideal for this team that already wasn't doing phenomenal in the pitching aspect of the game.
Trying to figure out how to advance the inning here on the scoreboard. Yeah, I'm not sure, Joe.
I'm not either.
Oh, maybe you just hit. Yeah, I don't know. Huh. Either way, 1-0. Mariners up, and here's one hit hard back to the pitcher. I thought it might have been a chopper. That was a line drive and a reactionary play from Ryan Oben. Look out.
Great reflexes there by Oben to just reach his glove, put it in the right spot, and I'd say less than half of a second there.
If you catch that in the wrong spot, that's got to really hurt.
Yeah.
But one pitch and one out there, and now dealing a strike to his second batter in Alex Sorrenti. Here, I'm sorry about that. Here's one hit to right field and tracking in to make the play. Brett Cabral. Had a trio of players racing down to try to field down that ground ball. Cabral comes in, makes the play, the easy play for the right fielder. I'm trying to keep up with my scorebook here and wasn't paying attention to the play at hand. So, 2 quick outs for Oben here. He starts with a breaking ball to Noah Holland. Catches the outside corner for strike 1.
Yes, and Noah Holland, for those of you that I know are very passionate at home about this Bourne Mariners baseball team, Noah Holland is the guy with the shortened batting stance, making his strike zone a little smaller. His walks haven't seen a crazy high uptick, as it's only 7 walks, which is middle of the pack for the league, but it's an interesting strategy at that.
Well, looks like things are paying off. And how about the diving play in right field? Oh my goodness. Brett Cabral out there, full extension to make the snag. Wow.
That was a very impressive play.
Not the most limber guy by any means, but he's able to get out on the belly and make the snag. Records 2 outs there back to back, and the third one in highlight fashion.
Yeah.
How about it? That'll get you on the edge of your seat early on here. And that was a quick half inning.
That was a very quick half inning for the Mariners on offense there, and definitely not what they want to see, but they still do hold the 1-0 lead in this game, and as long as they can contain this league worst offense in the Plymouth Brewers, then they should be all right.
Yeah, I think so. I'm figuring out the scoreboard. Sorry, I know I got my mind in different places right now, but
All right.
quite the impressive play from Cabral. Didn't think he had the step enough to get there. Just barely
Just barely.
Gloves it before it hits the ground.
May not seem like it at times, but baseball is for sure a game of inches.
Yeah, you know, and I guess with 2 outs, nobody on base, you kind of have a little more leeway to lay out for a ball like that and try to make a play. Otherwise, you might be letting it bounce. It wasn't hit very high in the air by Holland.
No, not at all. And just got to give credit to Cabral where credit's due. That was a very impressive catch.
So here's the first pitch fouled away. I believe it's Ronan Chisholm who's at the plate now. Just kidding. It's the top of the order here. J.R. DeSarcina. So the Brewers have hit around one time here as we get to the top of the 3rd inning.
DeSarcina grounding out in his first at-bat to start the game.
That he did. Here's a pop fly behind the catcher. It might be headed right to the top of the press box. No, it didn't. We're just waiting for that thump.
Yeah, I'm really praying that we don't have a back window ordeal.
You just had to say it, Joe.
I did. I'm a little nervous, honestly. The parking lot's in a decent spot. Get a lefty hitter to cut it back right. That could be a very unfortunate situation for.
Yeah, and if you don't know, I had my windshield hit. Learned to park my car a little further away. It's not going to happen twice. Here's one just foul down the first base line. So 2 strikes against DeSarcina. I believe that's DeSarcina.
DeSarcina.
Yeah, DeSarcina. I think that's it. Pitch misses outside. I believe that fills out the count at 3-2. Umpire not really helping us out there with the count.
No, he's a little quiet.
He's locked in.
He is locked in.
Oh,
3-2.
He just helped us. He might have heard us. 3-2. So payoff pitch from the windup here. Whew, a little extra oomph on that one. Fouled it off. Watch your head. You could see it in Malin's face there. He put a little extra juice on that one to try to get the punch out. But it'll go again, 3-2. See if he goes back with the fastball. Looking in towards home plate. Long look in. Here he goes from the windup. Looked like another fastball inside. Another one fouled away.
3 straight foul balls.
It's a good at-bat from DeSarcina.
Yeah.
Appreciate you figuring out that pronunciation.
Of course. Pitch count getting higher and higher for Mayland.
A little extra juice on that one, and it's hit well to the right center gap. Backing up towards the fence, but making the catch is Dan Cook out there. Fumbling my words. It was well hit, but just got a little under it. So Cook there to make the easy play.
Yeah, about 7 or 8 more feet on that ball. I think that was past that, right behind that 350 sign.
A little more to right or left, where it's 315 in the corners. And who knows? Malin wasting no time as Nicholas steps in, takes ball 1 outside. Again here from the windup. High kick from Malin. Might have just caught a piece. It did. Even things up. 1-1. Nicholas struck out last time up. Sorry about that, Joe. Painting the corner. Love that. Breaking ball falling off the table for strike 2.
Doing it again. Very, very impressive 2-strike sequence right there.
So the 1-2 pitch. Outside. 2-2. 1 down here in the top of the 3rd. Still a 1-run lead here for the Mariners. 1-0. Scored that run in the first inning. This one's hit towards the gap over by short, but Rondeau with a wild play. Just not in time with the throw.
Yeah, very impressive
range over there, yeah.
Tyler Rondeau, but it was just such a tough ball to get to in the first place, and being on one knee from that far out, it just didn't make it in time.
Kind of did the slide and pop right back up to try to make the throw quickly, but just, yeah, didn't have enough power behind it to beat the runner at first base. I thought there was no chance he got to that ball in that hole, but either way, runner on first base now with 1 down. And ball 1 to Caraher.
I'm intrigued with the fact that the Brewers are putting someone out there who only had 4 at-bats going into the game and making him their cleanup hitter.
Here he is popping one up towards center field. Lundholm tracking in. Horowitz backing up to try to make the overhead catch. And a tough play it would have been, so it drops in there for a single from Cam Caraher.
I think right field, center field, second, and shortstop all ran for that ball, but sadly Horowitz was the one that was tracking it down, but came in at an awkward angle and didn't put himself in the best position to try to catch that ball.
I saw Arenado actually the other night at third base for the Colorado Rockies make a similar play. Very, very difficult to Willie Mays the ball from over your shoulder.
Yes.
So after Caraher drops one in for a single, it'll be runners on first and second base, and Andrew Dorito or Dorito. I like Doritos, so
Doritos a more fun way to say it, but that could be tougher than DiSarcino.
Check swing. Did he go? The umpire near second will say no. And some disagreement from the Mariners patrons.
Yeah, this umpire has not been on the side of the Mariners so far in the game, and they have not been in agreement with each other.
One fouled off towards the bullpen over there. Look out. Nicks off the fence. Almost caught a man. So still a 1-run lead here with 1 down in the top of the 3rd. Malin may be looking for a ground ball to his shortstop or second baseman to try to turn 2. Fastball rings him up. Caught him looking for strike 3. Down goes Dorito.
Down goes Dorito.
So 2 down. The top of the 3rd for the Mariners. Brings in Nick Siegelman. Took first base on 4 balls last time. Swinging at the first pitch outside and missing. So first and second base with 2 down. Other pitch outside, misses high and away.
Again, 2 outs with the runner in scoring position. It'll be interesting to see if the Brewers will be able to capitalize this time off the advantage.
Go ahead run at first base. Malin's pitch fouled away. 2 strikes, I believe. 2-2. Would that be the count?
I think so.
It's 1-2. So a chance to get out of this inning, no damage done again. Here's Malin looking in from the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Misses low. Even things up. 2-2. Siegelman trying to make something happen here for his Plymouth Brewers. The top of the 3rd. The 2-2 pitch from the stretch, fouled back.
I could be mistaken, but it seems like all of Malin's pitch counts, or at bats, I should say, that he's batters faced, better way to say it, have led to many foul balls, just making the pitch count much higher than it has to be. And I'm intrigued to see how far he will be going in this game with this pitch count being at where it is. Probably in the, I'd say, high 30s, maybe low 40s already.
Yeah, it's definitely getting up there. There's been plenty of foul balls. 2-strike pitch just misses inside. That'll fill things out at 3-2. So with 2 down and runners on first and second base, you have to think they'll be moving on this full count pitch. Ball in the gap. Could be scoring a couple. Siegelman. 3-2 count. Called time, and he'll step out for a breather. Big pitch here in the top of the 3rd inning Full count to Siegelman. Malin looks in. Deals from the stretch. Runners go. And it misses low for ball 4. So fill him up. And now Brett Cabral comes in after making a diving play in right field.
Yeah, who else would you want right now with bases loaded, 2 outs, than your highlight player?
He's already proved he's got the magic in the field. We'll see if he's got it at the plate here with the bases loaded. Top of the 3rd inning in 2 out. First pitch from Malin from the windup now. Misses outside. So force out to any base, of course. First pitch missed there for a ball from the stretch now. Malin in for strike 1 there. And if I'm not mistaken, he went from the windup there with the first pitch, did he not? He's mixing things up maybe?
Yeah.
Unless I could have just missed it, but he's back at this in the stretch here. 1-1 count. That breaking ball fooled him. Make it 1-2. With the velocity Malin has, he can really fool a hitter with that breaking ball. Get them out on their toes. 1-2 pitch to get out of the inning. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So again, they fill him up, but no damage done for Logan Malin there as he gets out of the inning.
Yeah, staying safe so far through 3 with 2 big scares. Bases loaded in the 1st and the 3rd, but finding a way to get out of it clean. No runs allowed.
So still 1-0 with the Mariners in the lead. Things got a little testy there, but everything's all right. Beautiful night here in Acushnet, Massachusetts at Pope Park. Cam Sibert, Joey Aliberti for WMUA Sports up at UMass Amherst, the university radio station. We're getting set to go back up to school. I am, at least. I don't think you're going to go, Joe. Remote learning.
Yes, sadly.
The new norm.
Yeah, the new norm. Hopefully, 2nd semester I'll be able to go back on campus, but only time will be able to tell.
Only time will tell is right. Hopefully, things can continue to move in the right direction. We can get back to normal sooner than later. Of course, fall sports pretty much up and down the board. In college athletics, pushed to the spring or canceled altogether. UMass made that decision not long ago to push fall sports to the spring.
UMass football losing their biggest game of the year this year
Right.
against Auburn.
That too. Still no complete decision on the football season.
Yeah, football's an interesting storyline just for the fact that UMass is an independent team and does not have any affiliation with any conference, so it'll be interesting to see how they move forward with all these teams going conference only.
It sure will. We're ready for the bottom half of the 3rd. Rondeau to lead things off for the Mariners. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Rondeau out there at short where he's been solid all year long.
Yeah, it's making that highlight play even earlier today, even though he didn't get the guy out. Still a play that not every shortstop can make.
Absolutely. He's been real soft with the hands out there. 1-1. Takes a ball outside. And now Ryan Oben comes from the windup again. That one misses outside. 2-1. Rondo, a nice peppy kid. He's always smiling, saying hi to us.
Yeah, his energy seems to always be there.
Here he is swinging at one and popping it up towards center field. Another one in that shallow center area will get down. Cam Carraher tried to dive for it from second base, but it's just in that awkward spot where you can't really make a play on it if you're the center fielder.
No, same play that Horowitz had, but this time Carraher tried making a diving catch at that, and it probably would have been just as impressive, if not even more impressive, than the play Brett Cabral made in right a couple innings ago.
Here's a bunt going down from Adam Horowitz, and it's perfectly placed. Did he get there in time? He did not. Just by a hair, he's called out at first base, but he gets the job done in terms of a sac bunt, moves the runner up to second base. If I'm not mistaken, the Mariners still yet to hit through the order, right? We're now back at the top, but yeah, that's the first time they've made it through the order.
Yeah.
Brewers well through their order going on the second time. But we're back to the top here for the Mariners with Dan Cook. He's got a guy on second base. Swinging at the first pitch he sees and missing.
Dan Cook and the umpire getting a little chippy at each other in that bottom of the first inning, as we saw, and I'm going to be intrigued to see if that has any lasting effects on this at-bat.
Definitely a great point there, Joe. We'll have to keep an eye out for any leniency. Cook,
or lack thereof.
Yeah, Cook with a chance to double the lead, I should say. Swinging again and missing for strike 2. And Ryan Blue behind home plate will head out to the mound for a quick chat. Still Ryan Oben out there for the Brewers. Allowed that run in the first inning on a fielder's choice. Now with one down, he's in a little bit of trouble here early on with a man on second base. Here's Cook inside out to right. It's going to get down. Will they try to score the runner at second base? They will send him through, and Rondeau will be in standing up for the second run of the game. How about that piece of hitting from Cook to put that one over in right field? It jammed him up, but a nice swing.
Sticking that ball in the perfect spot, just right over, probably I'd say 20 feet over the first baseman's head, but too far for Brett Cabral to try to make another highlight play, and just fitting it in right in the gap and allowing Rondeau to score from second.
So the hit comes at a big time. It'll score a run from second base, like you said, Joe. Now Cook over at first, and Tyler Ferdinand will be in. Cook headed down to second to try to steal one, and he will. Throw was just a little left of the bag.
Yeah, Cook has been a problem on the base path for these defenses for just about the whole season, leading the Cranberry League in steals or stolen bases, if not second in the league, and it's obvious to see why. He's very aggressive and for good reason.
Does a really good job as that leadoff man. Here's Ferdinand fouling one away.
That foul ball did hit a car, but thankfully it hit the ground before it made contact with any cars, so it wasn't off of initial contact.
Appreciate you keeping an eye out on that, Joe.
Yeah.
The damage report. So one down, runner on second base again here for Ferdinand to try to score one. And this one's back to the pitcher, fielded cleanly and on to first for out number 2. And I'll tell you, Ryan Oben is getting his fielding tested out on the mound. He had that one snap back on a line, made a nice catch, and just that time fielding the grounder and on to first.
The glove is active for Ryan Oben today.
Brings up Mitch Lundholm batting in the third spot. Still that runner out on second. Takes the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Ball hit in the outfield, you have to think would be scoring the run at second base.
Yeah, especially with Dan Cook there. Almost any ball that gets hit.
And Cook is taking a massive lead, too. He's leading out towards where the shortstop is playing in the field.
Cook's base running confidence is second to none, I would say, in this Cranberry Baseball League.
Another ball there dealt to Lundholm, so 2-0 and make it 3-0.
And as I was saying, I think in a previous game, Dan Cook's percentages of getting picked off are very low. Is almost half the time that he does try to get picked off, the defense ends up making an error.
Oh, right. That was the game that we were at together a few weeks back. That kept happening. Good memory on you there, Joe. Swing and a miss to make it 3-1. Maybe 2, but I think it's 3-1. Got the sabermetrics, though, huh?
Yeah.
What do you got? You carry a notepad?
Yeah, everywhere I go.
So here's Lundholm. Trying to increase this lead. Here's one hit down towards first, just foul over the bag. So now 2 strikes against him, 3-2. Cook at second base will be taking off. Lundholm will have to be swinging at anything close. 3-2. 2 outs. Bottom of the third. Runner on second base. Pitch from the stretch from Oben. Misses low. I could swear that was 3-2, but I guess I'm crazy. And now there's 3 balls.
Yes. I was with you. I thought he already had 3. But
what do we know? Now it's 3-2. Now Cook will be taken off at second base. From the stretch, Oben. Kicks, delivers. This one's hit to first pretty hard. Bobbling it at first and then having to make the flip over to first. Not in time, so Lundholm will beat it out. And Connor Pratt with his second error now over at first base. Cook testing the infield over at third, but he's going to hold up.
An interesting choice there for Connor Pratt over there in first to decide to pitch it back or toss it back to the pitcher when he definitely had a chance to go and tag the bag himself.
It would have been equally as close, I think. I think after the bobble, he didn't really have the momentum going towards the base, and he kind of had no choice. But either way, on the error, here's one roped to center field. That looks like a no-doubter from DiMatteo. That is in the trees. 400-plus feet, if you might say, and DiMatteo will take a slow jog around the bases. Oh, my goodness. No doubt off the crack of the bat. DiMatteo makes his home run total 2 now on the season.
Yeah, and you won't see as much of a no-doubter as you just saw right there when you see home run hits. That, I think, right off the contact of the bat, you knew that had no chance to stay in this baseball field.
Yeah, maybe nobody with a better angle on it than us, and you could tell that one was in the trees as soon as it left the bat. What a stroke there from DiMatteo, and I was watching him in the on-deck circle. He was kind of working on his back foot and the pivot he was making. It looked like he was ready to hit one out, and sure enough, he came right up to bat and did exactly that.
Yeah.
3-run blast.
Now a commanding 5-0 lead for the Mariners. This is going to be tough for the Plymouth Brewers to come back from.
So the big 3-run blast from DiMatteo straight to center field. You have to think it might have gone at least 400 feet. The fence out there is 350, but it soared straight into the trees.
It did not look too close to that back fence there.
No. So now Braden Killens will follow up with 2 down here. You can still hear the Mariners bench.
Yeah. After a home run like that, I can't say I blame them. That's something that can definitely lift the team up.
Yeah. Keep the banter up over there. Like you said, opens up a 5-run lead. So not really much pressure here for Killens with nobody on, 2 outs. Swinging away. Ropes one down the first baseline, foul. Yeah, again, I mean, that was a rocket, absolute rocket. Saw DiMatteo hit a walk-off home run in the doubleheader a few weeks ago against the Rockland Cardinals. That one just barely made it over the left field wall. This one to center field with no doubt. Killens takes a pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, DiMatteo seems to kind of separate himself from the rest of the Bourne Mariners as the power hitter on this team.
Absolutely. Can't argue that. Killens might have called for time there. He didn't get it, so he takes a ball in the dirt instead. Look out for the wind. Was it 2-2? Oben dealing again from the windup. This one's again hit down towards first, just foul.
You have to think this will be Oben's last inning here. Once he makes it out of this with 2 outs, 2 outs on the board, 5 runs and 3 innings isn't ideal, obviously, and the pitch count's definitely getting up there.
Absolutely. Might be seeing a pitching change soon here from the Brewers. Here he is again from the windup. This one again down the first base line and foul. Killens just needs to get a little bit more ahead of the ball.
Yep.
Put one in play, just a hair behind it.
He is staying alive though, trying to make his best effort to get this ball in play.
And called time by Killens in the box. Gonna tidy things up, move some dirt around. He's ready to go. Oben from the windup. Kicks, delivers. Right over the heart of the plate, swing and a miss for Killens, and that'll do it for the bottom of the third, but not before Zach DiMatteo hit a 3-run blast straight to center field. I think the ball could still be in orbit, at least stuck in those trees out there at center field. It was hit real hard. There was no doubt off the crack of the bat, so it makes the lead 5 now for the Mariners as we head to the top of the 4th inning. We'll see if there's a pitching change, and there is. So Mayland made it through 3 innings, didn't allow any runs. And yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I just want to bring up Ryan Oben's breaking balls, or curveballs, I should say, and that lefty to righty, lefty against righty batter is a very advantageous thing, and he seems to be taking advantage of it and making his breaking balls really efficient, and it seems to really be getting these Mariners batters.
Yeah, like we say, this is more just practice for us as broadcasters. We're going to switch things over. Joe's going to take over the play-by-play. Big man on campus here. And go ahead and take it away. Top of the 4th.
Top of the 4th here, Cam. But first, in this middle inning, I wanna start by asking you some questions about the NFL. Patriots have now seen 8 NFL players opt out of the NFL season because of COVID-19 and concerns about the coronavirus. I'm just intrigued to get your take on that.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I hope you ask me a question I can answer with a good head on my shoulders. I mean, I don't know. I think you can't blame a guy for opting out. Obviously, there's health concerns. People have families. They have underlying conditions. You don't want to go out and risk anybody's safety. But yeah, I think it's a tough question to answer, Joe. I definitely don't blame anybody for doing it.
Absolutely not.
But I think it makes it tough on a team because then you're losing some of your best players. The Patriots defense has some holes now for sure.
Yeah. Adam Schefter did allude to the fact that he does think Bill Belichick might have some sort of scheme going on here with having all these players opt out, which I'm very intrigued to see.
With the cap space or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe sign some big ticket free agent like Jadeveon Clowney.
It wouldn't shock me.
Get him in there for a year.
That Belichick would be pulling something crazy.
Ryan Ballou now up to bat. Still not sure who is on the mound. But
right, I was trying to get that figured out for you, Joe. I apologize. We'll see if I can't do a little more reconnaissance.
Right. I appreciate that. We now have a 1-1 count. Fastball right down the middle. Gets Ballou looking for strike 2. We now have 1-2 count. Pitcher winds up, and it's fouled right over the first baseline and out of bounds, almost into the other baseball field. And another interesting scenario here, Cam, where there's 2 baseball fields, and if one gets fouled far enough, it could maybe affect the play of the other baseball field. So I'm intrigued to see how that ends up resulting, and hoping that doesn't do too much damage to either one of the games. And that will be strike 3. Ryan Ballou strikes out swinging to number 20. I'm sorry, I still am not sure of his name, but he did throw some heat in there for that 3rd strike to get his first strikeout and second out, of this top 4th inning. Actually, I'm sorry, that's the first out. Number 20 winds up, puts it in there high for ball 1. And now we have Connor Pratt up to bat with the 1-1 count now. Is he got Pratt swinging on that fastball right down the plate.
Up to bat. You don't say. Is there a cat in the hat?
Dr. Seuss is in the house. Now with a 2-1 count. Connor Pratt, if one of you or if any of you have forgotten, was the one that made that error at first base, and now it is 2-2 with another swing and a miss by Pratt. But Pratt was the one that actually made the error that let I think it was Tyler Rondeau stay safe at first base. 2-2 pitch, and number 20 will get Connor Pratt, who is also number 20, with strike 3 swinging. So that is 2 straight strikeouts. And I think it is Mike Quigley.
Michael, yeah.
At the mound now. And two early strikeouts for him. And if he strikes out here, he'd strike out the side. Ball 1 outside to start against Ronan Chisholm.
Might be Chisholm. Might be an H.
Chisholm.
That's my handwriting.
There's no R. There is no R.
It is my handwriting, so I apologize.
Ronan Chisholm, striking out in his first at bat. Now it is a 2-1 count for the shortstop. Quigley winds up. Now it's 2-2. Quigley really painting those outside edges, Cam, and making the most of his pitches. I think he's only thrown 12 pitches, if even, and striking out 2 batters, and now has Ronan Chisholm on his toes.
Sure does.
With the strike 3 pitch, Mike Quigley striking at the side with what looked like to be ease, and a great start for the pitcher. And this isn't the first time we've seen him, Cam. We actually did see Mike Quigley in the game that we were at in Middleborough. I think it was against the Rockland Cardinals, and he did pitch a few innings, and I think he held his own back there too.
Yeah, it's a pretty good start. 3 quick outs. Keep this train moving. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th now.
Yeah,
isn't that right?
Ryan Oben is still in there on the mound, so the Plymouth Brewers elect to keep him in this game. And Cam, I want to get your opinion on how you think the NFL will go about its fan situation. They've yet to discuss on how that's going to be, how many fans they're going to let in capacity, if they're going to let any in at all.
Right. I mean, I think the 100% safe route would be to not allow any fans. But if you take a look at the size of a stadium and the outdoor aspect of stadiums, sure, you could probably space people out and only allow groups of 3 or whatever it may be, masks at all times. Yeah, I think you can get away with something like that. But it just kind of depends on the image, I guess, you want to put out if you're the NFL.
Also, I think finances are a big aspect in that. You can lose millions of dollars with having no fans there, just tickets, concessions.
I think what you're saying is what they're thinking too.
Yeah.
They're not really worried about what I'm saying in the safety. They're worried about the bucks, the big bucks.
Yeah. The dollar signs.
But you'd think they have enough of that they could sacrifice a few for see. I mean, you just never know. I mean, I'm not.
You don't. Only time will be able to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Only time we'll be able to tell. What do you say about that?
And that will be a grounder to second base and fielded clean by Cam Caraher to toss it to now Ben Zobish, who has subbed out Connor Pratt. Another substitute is Jack Ruprecht for Ronan Chisholm at shortstop.
Help me out again with that, Jack.
Jack Ruprecht.
Okay, cool.
Ryan Oben throwing in the fastball for strike 1.
Sorry.
And now Noah Holland down 0-1 in the count. And throws one in the dirt to make the count 1-1. Holland striking out last time out. Now we'll see what Ryan Oben has in store for this 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike, painting the corners again. Ryan Oben's breaking balls have been very impactful, really confusing and deceiving the Mariners batters.
Right.
It's been the strength of his game.
And especially after you... Oh, never mind.
Grounder to first base, and Ben Zobish fields it cleanly for out number 1 of the bottom of the 4th.
This may be a little bit of a different look over there at first base. A cleanly fielded ground ball for an out. I think that's got to be a sigh of relief if you're the Brewers.
Yeah.
A couple get through over there before the substitution.
Connor Pratt did have his struggles.
I wasn't going to name any names, but you went ahead.
No, it is what it is. No shot at him.
Yeah, we call it how we see it.
Yeah, that's how it happened. Ben Zobish making the clean play. And again, Ryan Oben with the breaking ball in there for a strike on Tyler Rondeau. And wow, his breaking balls are something to really see.
Left-handed pitcher, yeah, working towards you.
Yeah,
if you're a righty.
Left-handed pitcher against these righties with that curveball, and that is a curveball right there.
It's falling off the table.
Oh my goodness. 1-1 pitch for Oben. In there high for ball number 2, making it 2-1. 1 out. Mariners are still up 5-0, looking to add to their lead in the bottom of the 4th here.
It was Rondeau that got things started last inning, if I'm not wrong.
Rondeau cracking one to left center, and it looks like Nick Siegelman will make the routine fly out to end the 4th, and now we head into the top of the 5th inning, where the Plymouth Brewers, Cam, they have to start making some moves on this offensive side soon. I know that they're the lowest scoring team in the league, but they got to try to get something to work.
Right, and you'd think that after seeing Malin with the high velocity that a pitching change might help, but ever since, help me with the name. Oh, it was Michael Quigley, I'm sorry, but ever since Quigley has come in, got 3 quick outs their last inning, so he seems to be doing just fine as well. So the Brewers, like you say, definitely going to have to get something going. It's going to start with base runners. So you got to think you put together a couple good at-bats, foul off some pitches, get the pitch counts up, try to get down to first base on a walk and start things off on the right foot.
Yeah, little by little, you got to try to pick at this lead. But Mike Quigley, if he keeps pitching the way he did in that top of the 4th, it could be very difficult for the Brewers to get something going here.
Yeah, I agree.
The lights have started to come on now, Cam. It is almost getting close to... I can't say it's getting close to sunset. Sunset's probably in another hour and a half.
Right, it might feel that way with this overcast.
Yes, the overcast definitely makes it darker than it would be on a regular sunny Sunday evening. Now we get started here for the top of the 5th, and Adam Horowitz is up at the plate. If I'm not mistaken. I am mistaken, actually. My apologies.
That's the wrong team there. It's okay.
The wrong team.
Got you here.
Oh, J.R.D. Sarcina is back up, top of the order. And that is a low for Mike Quigley for ball 1. D. Sarcina has yet to find success in the field, or on the bat, I should say, being the Leeds leading hitter. But now he gets it, grounds it to Rondeau, who makes the routine throw to first for the first out of the inning. And
a hard hit ball to short, but not a problem for Rondeau over there. We know he's been solid all year long.
Yeah, Cam, and we were just talking about the Brewers needing to get on base and start getting those base runners going. And if anyone were to do it, it'd be D. Sarcina. So seeing him ground out early is definitely a deflating sign. Quigley outside for pitch number 1 to Colin Nicholas, the center fielder.
Mm.
1-0 pitch, now 2-0 as it's just a little high there.
Oh, thought it might have snuck in there for a strike. I mean, that thing was...
Yeah, that was right on the line there. That could have been called either way. 2-0 pitch, and Nicholas is swinging hard at it, but cannot make any contact to make it 2-1 now.
Squeezing the juice box on that one.
Yes.
A little extra oomph on it.
2-1 pitch, and another swing. Trying to maybe impersonate his good friend Zach DiMatteo on the other team. Try to hit one clear over center field.
Yeah, that ball came down in Rehoboth.
Yeah.
And we're in a cushion it.
We are.
Again,
towns away.
I think it's probably still hung up somewhere in those trees.
Oh, check swing. They will say he did not go to make it 3-2 now. Full count for Colin Nicholas. Sorry.
Hey,
Two first names.
This is
Could
tough one, you know?
confuse
You
you.
never know. You never know.
3-2 pitch, and it is high and inside for ball 4. And now we have Cam Carrer up at the plate. He's made it on base both times. No hits yet, if I am not mistaken. Just a hit by pitch and a walk.
I actually think he did have a hit. I know my signals, you're like, or my symbols, you're like, is that hieroglyphics or what? No, yeah, he dropped one in between center and second base there. That one Horowitz
yes.
went back for.
Yes.
Tried to make a sliding
The
play.
Willie Mays.
Yeah,
And
that wasn't quite to be.
yes. And now Cam Carrer taking a big crack at it, but cannot get any piece of Mike Quigley's first pitch.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. The Mariners have gone through their order twice now. They're going to be at the top of the order to start next inning. But the Brewers are on their way through the third time through their order. I guess they've seen more at bats, but haven't scored any runs.
Yeah.
They've had base runners.
Mariners have just been more efficient with their batters and their hits.
Helps to have a 3-run blast.
It does. Now I think we have a 2-0 pitch here. That will be in there for a strike, making Carrer look at that one. 1-2 count now.
Let's see what he goes with here in the 1-2 from the stretch. The breaking ball's been working, but so has the fastball. Yeah. Oh.
And it is just a little inside there. Could have definitely been called a strike.
Yeah, he went with the cheese. It just missed.
Yeah. 2-2 count now. Mike Quigley here pitching to Cam Carrer in the top of the 5th. 5-0 lead for the Bourne Mariners, and that will be fouled back left. Taking a weird bounce, bumping off a car, but thankfully again hitting the ground before it made contact with any vehicle.
I'm wondering how you can see these foul balls. I'm looking over, I don't see a thing, but Joey sees it and it's still rolling.
Just gotta have a quick eye, I guess. Count remains at 2-2. Mike Quigley in the dirt. And a little controversial call there, but they're going to call that a check swing that he did go with when the ball is in the dirt. And Mariners players are not liking that call, but that will lead to the 4th strikeout for Mike Quigley, putting one out with one on first. We now have Andrew Dorito up.
Love it.
Nacho cheese, Cool Ranch, sweet spicy chili.
Spicy nacho. I could go for some Doritos right now, Joe. I can tell you that. A little hungry. Had a burger for lunch, but didn't have Doritos with it.
It's a great combo.
Went with potato chips instead. Some leftover macaroni salad. It's one of my favorites.
It sounds pretty tasty.
Yeah.
Quigley trying to pick off Colin Nicholas at first, but unsuccessful yet again.
Had a nice clam bake last night. Had some stuff left over. That one's
And
getting
now Dorito lines it down third, and he will be safe for first.
I have to think it's something other than Dorito, but just even when you say it, it makes me picture like a Dorito swinging and hitting a ball to third.
Yeah, I think it's a more appealing visual to the listeners out there. We could be absolutely just butchering the pronunciation, and I do apologize if that is the case. But for now, in my lack of knowledge on the situation, I'm just gonna stick with Dorito. That brings up Nick Siegelman to bat with a man on first and second, one out. And Cam, just like you said, the Brewers are finally able to get runners on base and potentially get some scores on the board.
Yeah, look out. First and second base. It's a situation the Mariners have seen already, though, in this game. They were able to get out of it last time with no damage done. We'll see what they can do this time. Yeah. Different pitcher on the mound, so we'll see what happens.
First pitch in there for a strike, keeping Siegelman looking. Siegelman takes a step out for a quick moment, but gets back in to the batter's box. Quigley just inside for another strike, and now it'll be 0-2 if I'm not mistaken. 1 out, man on first and second. Takes a look back at Colin Nicholas at second base. Throws the pitch in there for a ball in the dirt. 1-2 count.
It is a double header here tonight, so there's another game going at 7 o'clock. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to stick around for that one. I personally can't. Joey can't either, and it's because of me. So
Quigley with the 1-2 pitch, high and outside. We'll make the count 2-2.
we will deliver the first leg, but
Yes,
we might have
sadly,
to check the website for the score of the second game.
yeah, we will not be able to bring that to you live or delayed. We won't be able to bring that one to you, fans. I'm sorry. Now at the 2-2 count for Nick Siegelman, Mike Quigley takes a look at Colin Nicholas at second again, and it is in there for strike 3, and Quigley with 5 strikeouts now through 2. Very impressive start.
He struck him out.
I apologize. I thought there was only 1 out, but I guess there was already 2 on the board, and Mike Quigley cannot be disappointing this Mariners offense, as he's really making it easy for them to ease off the pressure and just kind of coast through the rest of this game, potentially. Already up 5.
Don't mention it. You're doing fine. 2 outs, 1 out. What difference does it make?
Oh, yeah, it is what it is. And
We're chugging along.
Ryan Oben still coming out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Distance. Is that him? Yeah, that's him. There he is.
I don't know how many pitches he's thrown exactly, but I guess they're liking the curveball cheese enough to keep him going.
Yeah, they're liking the action out there. They're going to let him keep shoving.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's let up 5. And that looks like it could be the deal breaker right now in this game if the Brewers can't put some runs on the board next time they get up. They've had runners on base, just haven't been able to knock them in.
Just a quick Celtics update.
Love it.
They beat the Blazers by 4 as they were up 19
Whoa.
at one point. I think it was
Whoa.
128-124. Jason Tatum, 34 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Yusuf Nurkic, Trailblazers big man with 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. If you guys aren't too familiar with Yusuf Nurkic or his career at all, he had a brutal leg injury that kept him out just about all year, and the only reason he was able to play this season is because of this bubble and the whole coronavirus delay. So a blessing in disguise. And now we have Adam Horowitz up at the plate and fouls it off of himself for pitch number 1 to make it 0-1.
Bottom 5 here, correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Try to be as often as I can.
As you should.
See what he can do. Last time up had that sack bunt. Maybe it wasn't the last time up, but no, I think it was. Maybe it wasn't, though.
I don't think it was. I think this is his 3rd at bat. I could be mistaken. But Ryan Oben throwing it just outside for ball 1, making the count 1-1. Low and inside for ball 2 now. Making it 2-1. And Cam, I don't know if the Mariners are gonna really, I don't think they're gonna have to do much more on offense in this game. Their defense seems to be holding up really well. And that'll be popped straight up. Ryan Ballou misses it. It could have very well been caught. Popped up in the air just a few, I'd say about 10 to 15 feet away from home plate. But it can be a tough one to track at times, especially with the cloudy sky, maybe just getting it lost in the clouds.
Yeah, there might have been some spin on that one, too, because it looked like it was headed out of play, and then it kind of came way back into play. A few feet from the first base line. Unfortunate if you're a catcher to not make the play.
Of course. Now the 2-2 pitch for Oben. Comes in with the cheese and just barely tips it off. And okay. The batter there, Adam Horowitz, just tried throwing it back to Oben and missed
Just mind games.
pretty badly. Yeah, maybe he's just trying to get in the head of Oben a little, get his composure just a little bit off, and make him throw a bad one. 2-2 count now. Oben winds up. And another one. Oh, wow. And yet another Mariners player getting mad at this umpire, saying that was a god-awful
Poor call. Poor guy back there, I mean, it's not an easy job.
And again, I can't give enough praise to Ryan Oben for these breaking balls. Very impressive and just really deceiving. Maybe even the umpire. That was a tough call to make.
I think I was having a conversation with Colin Casey. There's probably no bunt attempt.
Going for the bunt attempt there is Dan Cook
But
back
yeah,
at the top of the order.
I'm not sure there's a sport quite like baseball where you have so much back and forth between an umpire and a player, a referee and a player. I guess basketball you can argue and that type of thing, but not to the point where you're kicking dirt and spitting on the referee.
I would agree. And yet another curveball in there for Ryan Oben to make the count 1-1. And I would definitely agree with that, Cam, and just in the sense that so many more coaches and players get ejected in baseball.
Right? You don't get a warning. You don't get a technical. You're just out of here.
That doesn't happen in football. They don't argue too much with the refs and fear getting ejected.
They just tell you to take a hike.
Owen throwing in another strike to make it 1-2 now. Winds up again. And Dan Cook will hit that far back in center. Is that gone? And it is gone for another home run for this Bourne Mariners team. Dan Cook hitting that just over the center field fence. Now making it a 6-0 lead for the Bourne Mariners over the Plymouth Brewers and just adding on to this domination.
Wow. Yeah, get a taste of whatever you like. I mean, DiMattio's got the moon ball that hangs up in the lights. Cook's got the line drive that gets out of here in a hurry. Couple good pieces of hitting from this Mariners lineup tonight.
Haven't seen too much huge contact hits from Dan Cook. He's more of just a get-on-base type of guy, so it's interesting to see that power. And that one will be fouled straight back by Tyler Ferdinand for one strike on the count.
Flexing the guns a little bit, the leadoff guy.
Yeah.
I'm more than just stolen bases and bunts. That thing was hit well.
Owen throws it in there inside to make the count 1-1.
The home runs we've seen so far this summer, too, it's been like you kind of watch it. Is it going to go? Is it not? I would say the two tonight have been no doubters.
I'd say Dan Cook's was a little closer. I wasn't completely sure at first, but after a couple seconds, you could tell.
Yeah.
But DiMattio's was a no doubter for sure. That was just a
DiMattio's might
missile.
Again still be up there. That thing is put in orbit.
Another foul for Tyler Ferdinand, making the count 1-2. No outs so far, as Dan Cook was the first hitter of the inning.
Try again. I think I just didn't add it.
I apologize.
I
Adam Horowitz
struck out there.
Horowitz struck out.
I'm not helping you, Joe.
1 out. It is R.A.K. And that will be a grounder to shortstop, and he will be out. Close call. Umpire had to think about it for a second, but he did get the ball there in time.
In time.
Good play by Jack Ruprecht, the substitute for Ronan Chisholm, to other substitute, Ben Zobish. Substitute's making a play for that second out of the inning.
Some tricky names on that Brewers roster. I'll give you credit. You're doing good.
Mitch Lundholm now to bat, and he will tip the first one. And Ryan Oben really staying with these breaking balls, Cam. He's making it a priority, and I would not argue against that, as it has been a big problem for this Mariners batting.
Sticking to his guns, eh?
And another one in there for a strike this time, making the count 1-1. One pitch here for Oben. Mitch Lundholm will chop it to a first base, and he will scoop it to Oben, who runs and taps the bag for first base to end the 5th inning. And now we are in the middle of the, sorry about that, we are in between the 5th and the 6th inning now with a 6-0 lead for the Bourne Mariners over the Plymouth Brewers. And
headed to the top of the 6th, Joe. It's been a fun one.
It has.
Some firepower on that Mariners lineup tonight.
I would say so. And I'd say on the other side of the ball for the Mariners, their pitching has been pretty excellent, I'd say.
A good showing. You're right. Both sides, defensively and offensively.
Mike Quigley just stepping in and really showing
control.
Control, I would say, yeah. And just really showing how good of a pitcher he really is, and striking out 5 of the 6 batters that have been called out in the 2 innings that he's been pitching. Now let's get to some other sports. Cam, I guess the Bruins did play tonight. They faced the Philadelphia Flyers, and they won 4-1.
Right, and like we both kind of alluded to a little bit, we're not necessarily aficionados when it comes to hockey or the NHL. I will say, I mean, I follow it definitely a lot more when the playoffs come around, but I kind of wanted to get your take. It's more of just a general sports take. The Bruins, of course, were dominating the league. They were in first place, and then things have to come to a stop. What impact would you say that has on a team? Could have a good one, a good or bad, really.
It could be interesting. I don't know how a break will affect old players because the Bruins are an old team. Patrice Bergeron getting up there in age. Zdeno Chara is pushing like 41, 42 right now.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that equates for a old seasoned team like the Bruins.
Right. I almost think like that's the point right there. You're making it is that with an older team like the Bruins, it could definitely help. I think a lot of other teams, they have momentum. They're kind of stringing together some games, stringing together some wins. Might not help to slow things down or have to stop altogether, but I think with the Bruins, it works. Get Bergeron healthy, which he hasn't been his entire career.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if the Bruins can carry their dominance into this.
Well, 4-1 win over the Flyers is a good start.
Yeah, the Flyers are
no good.
Not too good of a team, but a win's a win.
Absolutely.
Mike Quigley throws the first pitch, and that will be high for ball 1.
Top of the 6th.
Up to bat now is, I'm sorry, I cannot see.
Joey is blind. No, I can't see it either.
32, maybe Ben Zobish?
Yep. It's got to be. It's a good guess. But I'm confused as to who he came in for. Thought it was.
Ben Zobish came in for Connor Pratt.
Well, the on-deck guy is Cabral, so he must have come in for Siegelman. I don't know.
Interesting. There was a position change that might have affected things. I'm sorry to the fans at home. We are not on our A game when it comes to these batters. They don't have last names on their back. We just have to try to go off the numbers. And
right. I mean, we're used to live stats telling everything for us, so.
Yeah.
I think you got it, though. I think you're right.
And Quigley gets unknown batter swinging, potentially Ben Zobish, for the 3-2 count, full count now. No outs in the top of the 6th here. As Quigley throws the pitch in, and he will get Zobish swinging for that strike 3, and that is now 6 strikeouts out of 7 potential batters, or 7 potential outs, I should say, and Zobish is not happy about that one, slamming his helmet against the ground. And Quigley is really just deflating any confidence that this Brewers team had.
Yeah, Joe, I'm texting out the link to the stream and not necessarily getting the greatest news in return. I'm not sure if anyone's been able to hear this one. But we've said it a couple times. Regardless, it's good to get some practice.
We're talking about practice.
I'm a franchise player, and we out here talking about practice.
Yeah. Cam, we are franchise players.
Yeah, we are a couple franchise players, and we're out here talking about practice. We're no AI. We need our practice. We are not the answer. We don't have the answers, obviously.
Yes, and now we see some rain trickling down from this overcast, and we now have a 1-2 count for Quigley with.
We'll see how long the
bat.
fans in the stands can hang out. We'll see how tough they are here.
Yeah.
Look out. Almost
Hard.
tested how tough the noggin of Nate Charette is over there in the dugout. Wild line drive foul ball.
Line drive foul ball. Went a little high. Backstop prevented it from going any further.
Still, I'll tell you what. I mean, the dirt out there is really dry and really lightly colored. I think it could use some wetness, some rain.
Yeah,
some precipitation.
Maybe this could be perfect for this baseball field. And now 1-2 pitch will be down in the dirt for Mike Quigley, making the count 2-2 now. And as I was alluding to earlier, Cam, Mike Quigley has made light work of these Brewers batters so far. Now getting it in for another strikeout. That is 7 strikeouts in 2 2/3 innings.
I'm glad you're keeping count.
Wildly impressive game for Mike Quigley as he is just blowing through this Mariners offense. And now we have Jack Ruprecht up to bat, the shortstop substitute. And he will line that right in between first and second. Second baseman cannot get there in time for a base hit. And I guess that's a good sign for the Brewers, Cam. It's just not going their way.
Yeah, I mean, now you got 2 down. It's not very optimistic right now. There's not a lot of sun shining rainbows for the Brewers.
Not at all. Now
Sorry.
Mike Quigley faces. I think we might be we are not at the top of the order. Again, I apologize.
Number's
He
25.
Does throw it in there for a strike, and 25 happens to be.
Unlisted?
It looks to be that way.
Nice.
Yeah, there is no 25 on this sheet of paper that we were given.
It's okay.
25 is now down 0-2 in the count after that foul ball. And
I would say
Mike Quigley could now put in for his 8th strikeout in 3 innings here.
could it be Ben
Gets this one strike.
Zobich, who doesn't have his
Zobich?
name listed.
It could potentially be Ben Zobish.
I would think that's it.
I'm not sure who's at or who struck out the first time. Now will be low and outside for ball 1. 2 outs now in the top of the 6th inning, 6-0 in favor of the Mariners of Bourne. Mike Quigley now for the 1-2 pitch, and it will be just high for a ball, and now putting the count at 2-2. Runner on first here, and Quigley gets ready, and he will get Ben Zobish swinging for that strike 3. And Cam, 8 strikeouts in 3 innings is quite the feat, may I say.
Yeah, I mean, I said at the top of the broadcast, the ace in the hole, Logan Malin, started this game. Quigley's come in and ever since and has been in just as much, if not more, control.
Yeah, I'd say more. You can't get much more control than 8 strikeouts out of 9 outs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Logan Malin did an impressive job making sure no runner scored. Always keeping his foot on the gas even when it was
some base runners started to pile up.
Even when the bases were loaded, it just didn't matter. It didn't affect him. And now we will have our first. Yep, we have our first pitching substitution for the Brewers as Ryan Oben finally gets subbed out. The man with the meanest breaking ball in all of the Cranberry League. Casey Fernandez steps in. Yeah, maybe that's a bold call. I can't say that just yet, but Casey Fernandez now steps to the mound. Cam, I want to ask you, what do you think is the most impressive play you've seen so far in your Cranberry League broadcasting career?
I'll tell you, Brett Cabral made a really good play out there in right field. Pat Santarella on the Rockland Cardinals, he made a nice diving play.
Yeah.
You were there for that one. Came away in for that one from left field. I'd say the ball DiMatteo just hit to the moon in the 3rd inning there was pretty impressive. That's the furthest I've seen a ball hit. All of those seem about good, but
Yeah, fair enough. I would say
I would put DiMatteo's up top. That thing was crushed.
Oh, that was sweet.
What do you got? What's your top play?
I would say, what's the Rockland Cardinals player name again?
Pat Santarella.
Yeah, I think that one takes the cake for me. He came in out of nowhere and just got that, risked it all for it.
Funny story about that. Yeah, I actually met Pat Santarella. He's a friend of
Yeah.
one of my friends, and I was just talking to him, whatever. I'm like, oh, you playing baseball this summer? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what team? He's like, the Rockland Cardinals. I'm like, oh, no way. You played left field, right? I think I broadcasted the diving play you made out there. He started laughing, and I pulled it up on my phone and listened back to it. Had a good laugh.
Casey Fernandez throwing that inside for ball number 1. And now,
Oh, man. Talk about seeing the
Zach
ball well.
DiMatteo, speaking of the devil, takes a big chop at that one, fouling that out to left.
Fielders on their toes
Yeah,
when D-Matt gets up.
outfielders have to be on their toes too. Get ready to jump that wall. Another one inside for Fernandez to bring the count to 2-1.
DiMatteo, Wheaton guy. Know that for sure.
Wheaton's getting some good power. And DiMatteo hitting another bomb.
Baby.
Not sure yet if that will be over or not. And it won't be, but right fielder Brett Cabral, who made the highlight play earlier, will just miss the fly ball.
Yeah, we might have a substitution out there, and not sure if it's Cabral, but yeah, it looked like a pretty routine fly ball just near the warning track.
Yeah, that is not Brett Cabral. My apologies for.
I missed whatever was just being yelled out too by someone at the field.
Yeah, but again, Zach DiMatteo showing that power for that stand-up double, putting it on the warning track, almost putting another one out.
Yeah, opposite field too would have been impressive, and
hop up to center field, and Colin Nicholas will be running in for the fly out. Now with 1 out and 1 on second base. I'm not completely sure who is.
I believe that is Alex Sorrenti. He hit a dinger last week here and got caught over on the wall and left. I had thought it originally was an inside the park home run. I guess it was ruled a regular home run. It was a game-tying home run, actually, in the bottom of the 7th. Sent it to extra innings, and the Mariners went on to win it there in the 8th.
So a little bit of a clutch gene for Alex Sorrenti.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And now Fernandez gets ready to throw the pitch, and it'll be grounded to third base for what looks to be a routine ground out. And now 2 outs with number 30, who I can't say I'm sure on the Bourne Mariners. We were not given numbers.
Holland. It's because I got you looking at the wrong lineup.
Sorry.
Doesn't help.
Noah Holland.
Not helping you, Joe.
Up at the plate. And last time out, I think he struck out. I can't be certain of it, but he looks like he did, and he has a runner on second, fouls it straight back over the backstop. 0-1 count.
So that rain kind of just came real quick, showed itself, but it's pestered away.
Just a light sprinkle, just to get the field a little, get that dirt a little thicker. It was dry and needed some water. And
Absolutely.
Fouls another one back into the backstop, putting 2 strikes on him, but making contact. If you want to look at the bright side of an 0-2 count.
Love some good contact.
Love some good contact. Casey Fernandez with the 0-2 pitch. And it'll be swung at again, grounded to third base for yet another routine ground out. And the Brewers will get out of that inning, even after that Zach DiMatteo potential home run hit, but ended up just being a double. Getting out of that with no wounds.
Yeah, and what do we go to the top of the 7th here? Final at bats for the Mariners. For the Brewers. Try to put together 6 runs.
I think this is the bottom of the 6th. I don't think we've reached the 7th inning yet.
Jumping the gun there a little bit.
Just a little, but it happens.
I don't know though, Joe. I think you could be right.
I am excited to see. Oh no, you are right. I'm sorry. You are right, because Bourne's the home team.
The whole team.
Yeah, I am excited to see this though, because Mike Quigley will no longer be pitching. There looks to be a substitution. I just can't really tell who. Number 12 will be his name for the time being.
Tom Brady out there? No.
Yeah, TB12.
Imagine. Brady just comes in to do some light work.
Get that arm loose. He was drafted by the New York Yankees.
Is that true?
Yeah, as a catcher, not as a pitcher.
What?
You didn't know that?
I didn't.
Yeah, he was drafted by the Yankees.
A catcher?
Yeah.
Right, because he used to be a pudgy guy.
Yeah. Big body, too, obviously. 6'4".
Yeah, that's too big to be a catcher, bro. That's so big.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Tom Brady was a catcher.
I'm not saying that I think you're wrong. I'm just saying that's crazy. It's cool.
Quick on-the-fly research here.
Nothing that Google can't find out, huh?
Quarterback. Okay.
His baseball position was quarterback. Yeah, that's probably
that makes
right.
sense. Brady, a catcher from Junipero Serra High School, drafted out of high school in the 18th round by the Expos. I'm sorry, not the Yankees.
Wow.
But for a pudgy guy, he was a very impressive athlete, and it's no surprise that he is where he is now.
Yeah, where I was going to take that next is he had a chance to play some professional golf. He's a real good golfer, scratch golfer. Well,
is he? I think he's an 8 handicap.
Right. I think he was at a time. I think right now that he's playing full time in the NFL, he hasn't really had enough time to work on his swing.
Yeah, I have no doubt that he was definitely able to be a scratch golfer.
If you watched the match there,
yes,
he didn't look like a scratch golfer for sure. No,
Peyton Manning definitely performed well.
He did.
In that,
he did.
6 handicap.
That flippy draw. I don't know if I believe in that being the most consistent swing or ball flight, but.
And now number 12 throws it in there for another foul ball.
Brady ripped one in there and from 120 yards, and that was good enough, I think, for most fans to say he's a good golfer.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
it was impressive.
It does take some skill to do that. Obviously, there's luck involved, but skill is required. And that will be a pop-up to center field where Mitch Lundholm will make the catch right at the warning track, though. That had a slight potential to be out of there, but just needed a few more feet under it.
Man, it just goes to show. I mean, that's like a pretty well-hit ball, but DiMatteo just absolutely tanked that thing to center.
DiMatteo made that look like a pop-up to the pitching mound. All right, quick out for the Brewers, and if they don't get something going here, the game is over. Inside for ball 1 for number 12. Again, don't know his name. 6-0 lead for the Mariners here in the top of the 7th. And now right down the plate, getting Colin Nicholas, double first name, swinging at that one. 12 with the 1-1 pitch, and that will be hit into right field, but foul ball. Dan Cook almost getting to it, but not too close. The speedster himself.
I will say, too, about the umpires and referees in sports, I think in baseball you have the most free will to let your voice be heard and kind of have a cool motion on a strikeout or foul ball or make a bunch of sound effects. You can do it in basketball, too, a block or a charge. You can really get emphatic with it.
Yeah, but I think I would definitely agree where the color of your character definitely presents itself the most as an umpire compared to any other.
That's a great way to put it, the color of your character.
Yeah.
Wow, Joe. From the heart there.
Another foul tip, and I think that will make it 2-2.
He must have had a stint as a Little League ump.
I did not.
It's close to home.
I should have, though. Let that color shine.
A lot of people did, and I never did either. I would have liked to do that, too.
Yeah. It's a good gig.
I think I got a good eye. I'd make a good call.
2-2 pitch, and that is hit on a backspin to second base for the ground out, but that looked like it was going to be a liner, but it really just kind of stopped in midair, and that backspin really got it, and it just didn't fly at him too hard. It was a nice soft grounder to
I will say,
baseman.
The couple games we missed here on the broadcast, the Mariners going a little bit of a losing streak. Now we're back here in a cushion it, and they're firing away. It looks like they're going to pull this one out.
Foul ball left, could be hitting a car. Again, hits the road, thankfully, before it hits a vehicle. We would hate to see yet another broken windshield or window of any sort. It is just not a fortunate event that anyone should go through.
Yeah, I can definitely second that.
And inside for ball 1 to make the count 1-1 for Cam Caraher, the second baseman. 1-1 pitch here for number 12, and it will be low for ball number 2. And 2 outs, top of the 7th. They're going to really need some magic now to get anything going, Cam. I hate to say it. Cam Caraher with a fly to left field that should be caught. Wow. A little bit of an awkward catch there by the left fielder. But he comes down with it. Alex Sorrenti, maybe not the cleanest catch, but a catch is a catch, and that's game number 1 for the Bourne Mariners and the Plymouth Brewers. And Cam, what are your final takeaway thoughts on that game?
Well, 6-0. Mariners hang on there to win it. Firepower in the lineup, a couple home runs, a 3-run blast from Zach DiMatteo, and then later on that solo shot from Dan Cook, both to center field, both out in a hurry, almost no doubters. DiMattio's a no-doubter, no doubt.
Yeah.
Cooks got out on a line drive, but yeah, it was a good game. Got to see the Mariners kind of put together more of an offensive attack, something we're not necessarily used to this year. They've been a little more of a defensive team, but good pitching as well on the defensive side. So everything kind of comes together, and they put it together to make a real good win here in the first leg of this doubleheader. What did you think, Joe?
I'll be honest with you. Even as impressive as that power, that sheer power shown by Zach DiMattio on that no doubter, I think Mike Quigley takes the cake for player of the game with 8 strikeouts in 3 innings. That's just not something you see every day, and just a very, very impressive performance by the pitcher. And honestly, that's other than that, the Brewers are going to need to put some points on the board if they really want to be a factor. Obviously, as they are statistically the lowest scoring offense, and they proved to be that way again in this game by getting shut out, sadly. But they did have multiple bases loaded in the first and third innings. So if they just start capitalizing off of those runs, then they'll be able to maybe take away the second game. And now we're gonna close out the broadcast. I'm Joey Aliberti here with Cam Sibert. We are here with WMUA Sports covering Cranberry baseball at Acushnet in Pope Park. And it is a beautiful Sunday evening with a nice overcast glaze in the sky, a little rain from time to time. But we will close out this broadcast, and I apologize that we can't cover the second game, but business is business. And we will see you next time.
Alrighty. Have a good one, folks. I don't think